Greetings, YouTube. It's Mike Haley 7. I'd like to do a little shout out today on the 19th of June 2020 to Moto Mengi up in Pennsylvania. Riding on some gorgeous roads up there. Man, I love a nice country ride. Let's see now. I think I'll go this way. Yes. You might be wondering, where are you going, Mike? I'm going to McDonald's to get some very unhealthy breakfast. And it's not the McDonald's nearest me. It is one that is slightly far away. Not really far. And that's funny, actually. I was going to get some pizza one day, and somebody said, geez, where the hell is this pizza place? Or maybe I was going to get a haircut. Where the hell is your barber? So I figure I would take a moment to ask you that question. For you, how far is far? Like when I was living in Massachusetts, I lived in Lynn, and Peabody was the next town over, immediately to my northwest. And there was this place called the North Shore Shopping Center, North Shore Shopping Center, and that was about 6 miles away from my house, as the crow flies. And that 6 miles seemed like a pretty good distance. That was far. The story I told once about walking home from my job at Sears as a teenager, that would have been a 6 mile walk. And that was considered kind of crazy back then. The cop thought it was crazy, I thought it was crazy. But now, here in North Carolina, my job is 6 miles away, and that feels like it's just around the corner. It doesn't feel like it's 6 miles at all, like the 6 miles to the North Shore Shopping Center. My concept of distance has changed over the past 15 years living here. In Massachusetts, 6 miles was far. In North Carolina, no, not at all. Yay. Little teeny twisty there. So, what is your concept of far? When I first moved here, I'll never forget it. We were driving from the hotel where we were staying in Raleigh, in the Crabtree Valley, that's what it's called. And we're heading down to where I live now, and my wife hadn't seen the house yet, because she was in Hawaii washing the dogs, and I was tasked with going to North Carolina to look at houses, and we chose, based on the videotapes that I made, it was actually tapes, we chose the house that we ended up buying. And I asked my neighbor across the street, you know, how long it takes to get to downtown Raleigh. She said 30 minutes. I said, okay, that's fine. So we're riding, we're driving, and I made a couple of wrong turns because I'm new to the area at the time. And so we're finally going down Old Stage Road, and it's just getting more and more rural the longer we go. And it just seems to be taking forever. And, you know, with our Massachusetts and Hawaii sense of distance, which was very small, I could feel her anger starting to build. And then she starts drumming her fingers on the dashboard. And that's when I knew it's a countdown at this point to her exploding. So I'm just kind of, you know, my shoulders are kind of hunched, and I'm getting ready, you know. And she said, "Where the hell did you move us to?" And it was about another 2 miles beyond where she got mad. That's where the house was. And she was pretty pissed off, but the next day, we went into Fuquay, which is, you know, 5 miles. And she said, "Okay, all right, we're not going to kill you." Because she didn't know, you know, she had just arrived. Look at this, isn't this beautiful? Look at this, wow. I'm riding south into what appears to be a rain cloud. Old Mikey gonna get wet today. Ain't nobody behind me neither. Yay, I can just kind of take it easy. So I started to, you know, drive around, look around at places around here, where to go, this, that. And I always realized, like, I'd go to get directions to a new friend that I'd never gone to their house yet because I was new in the town. And they'd say, "Go here, you know, here's the directions." And then I'd be like, this is back before I had GPS. So I start worrying, like, did I pass it? Did I pass the turn? Did I pass the house? And then no, it was always at least another 2 miles ahead of me. So my sense of how far something should be had to recalibrate. So now, you know, 40 or 50 miles, that's not that big a deal. Hell, even a 2-hour drive, like if we're going to go to Wilmington right now, 2-hour drive, it's not too bad. Definitely something you do in a day. And I drove my brother out to Marshall, North Carolina, which is a good 4.5 hours if you're really shitting and getting. So, I mean, I did that in one day. I went all the way out there, dropped his ass off, figured out some of the stuff that he had to do, and then drove all the way back the same day. Now, Massachusetts Mike and Hawaii Mike were like, "Oh my God, you're going to sleep over." So my sense of distance has changed because of living here, and maybe also because, why is this guy slowing down? What are you doing? Maybe he's looking for something. Maybe also my distance sense has changed because of the big trip I took last year out to the Grand Tetons with Moose 3971. That was epic. There's no other word that I can think of to describe it any better. It was epic. I mean, you could get on this road in like Wyoming or Montana or South Dakota, and as far as you can see, it's just nothing but road and grass on both sides, or mountains. I mean, it was just incredible. And I think in Montana, if you were living out there, I mean, a couple 100 miles would be a commute to work every day. So for some places, you know, a 2-hour drive to work every morning is standard. And I stupidly, I'm just still driving into the dark clouds. I don't know if you can see that very well with this, you know, weird perspective, but there's some pretty dark skies ahead. All for an Egg McMuffin. Oh yeah. Oh, Mikey, you gonna get wet. Like that movie, I think it was The Color Purple. It's gonna rain on your head. Yes, it is. A shout out to Moto Takahe, if you're still watching. I don't know if you were joking or not when you said you were done. Apparently my pedophile joke was a bridge too far. Perhaps. If you were joking, then whew. But if you were serious, then you know, I'm sad to see you go. Now, obviously, I don't believe in pedophilia, and I think, you know, literally, I literally think that pedophiles should be either chemically castrated or just given the death penalty, locked up for life. I've got a zero tolerance policy for pedophiles. Just so as you know. In case you're wondering, geez, does my Kaylee 7 have anything in favor of pedophiles with that? No, I don't. Wow, that's a pretty house. So if you're thinking right now, geez, how far is it to this McDonald's, Mike? It's, you know, a couple miles ahead. Just like I used to always feel like, have I gone too far? Nope, you ain't gone far enough. That looks like a prison bus. Alright, here's a little weird observance. When I was in West Virginia, I noticed this, and then I started looking at it more carefully, and I noticed a lot of places have this. Have you ever noticed that elementary schools and high schools kind of look like prisons? They're kind of designed with the same aesthetic. Especially in West Virginia, where they had like barbed wire fence around the playground. What do you need barbed wire fence for? Are the pedophiles trying to climb over the fence to get the kids? Are you trying to keep the kids in? Are you trying to indoctrinate them so that they accept the prison that their lives will become? I just found it weird. Oh, you guys need you some smell-o-vision right now, because that trash truck is divine. Oh, I'm so hungry now. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, welcome to the town of Anger, North Carolina. Anger. Soon we shall be there. See how, right? I don't know if you noticed this, but when you get to the town line, the speed limit changes to 35. And you would be wise to go the speed limit when you get to a small town like this in North Carolina. The roads between the towns can go up to 60 miles an hour. Usually it's like 55. 45, 55, but once you get into a town, it's like 35. And the more rural the town, the more you have to obey the speed limit when you get to the town limits. Like right now I'm doing 38, 39. I see this white car's way ahead of me. You go ahead, get a ticket, pal. What are you doing? Jeez, that guy was starting to come over on me. Oh, I think I just felt a raindrop. I see windshield wipers. My Kaylee 7 is a dumbass. Gonna get wet. Well, I'm here now, so I might as well just accept it. Alright, so this is my Kaylee 7. And I'm getting wet as I ride to get a McMuffin. And I'll show you. This is downtown Anger, by the way, in case you didn't know. And there's the McDonald's, shining like a beacon. Alright, I'll talk to you later, because at this point probably the camera's going to be all covered in water. You won't be able to see. So, stay safe out there. See ya.